So we're going to work on periodic method, both FIFO, LIFO, weighted average, and we're going to compute profit and net income and look at how each of the three methods impact profits. So we're doing the work for Candle, and here's their details. They started with beginning inventory of 200 that cost them $18 a piece, and they had a purchase and then they had a sale. I'll bold the sales for you, and then 2 more purchases and then a sale, and another purchase and then a sale. Notice that the sales price is not interesting when we are trying to figure out cost of goods sold. So we only are interested in the cost when we bought it. I mean, obviously we hope that there's a markup and creates a gross margin. And when we create the income statement, we'll need this, but we don't need this for figuring out LIFO, FIFO, weighted average. So this is periodic method. What does that mean? That means we wait until the transactions are over for the period, and then we start using our inventory costing techniques. So all of these purchases, 1, 2, 3, 4, are available to inspect and to pull from when we are calculating cost of goods sold and ending inventory. Under the perpetual method, that's not true, and you can go watch the walkthrough for perpetual to see the differences. So let's start with FIFO. So we sold how many here? We sold 300, 680. So let's add up how many we sold here, just to get ourselves together. So we sold 790 units. So when I do my FIFO here, I'm going to be grabbing 790 units at a certain cost. Okay, what's the cost pattern for FIFO? I'm going to take the oldest layers first. All right, let me go up and get this old layer. Okay, I have 200. I don't have 790 yet, so keep going. The next purchased in the layer. All right, do I have 790 yet? No, just 450. All right, let me go get the next layer. Do I have 790 yet? No, I have 670. Okay, so I'm not going to take a full next layer. I'm just going to take the amount that I need to get up to 790. Because the next layer would be too many. The next layer would be 250, and I don't need the whole thing. I need 120 of that next layer. Next layer was $19. All right, so my cost of goods sold here is $14,663. So what is ending inventory? Well, ending inventory will be the things I didn't sell. So of the 150 layer, I sold 120, leaving 30 of that layer. And I didn't sell any, under the FIFO methodology, I didn't sell any of this last purchase. So my ending inventory under FIFO would be 4,410. Let's do LIFO. I'm still selling the same number of units. All right, now LIFO is going to take the last most recent layer first. Okay, so where's the most recent layer? There it is. Okay, I'm going to sell that. That's not 790, so I need to keep going. Next layer. That's not 790 yet, so let me take that next layer. How much do we have here? Now we have 570. We should keep going here. This adds up to be 820. All right, so we need 790, so that's too many, so I need to back 30 out of this. And cost of goods sold under LIFO would be 14,918. Now let's work on ending inventory. So we took 220 from that 250 unit purchase, so we have 30 left from that layer. And we didn't sell any of the beginning, so I guess I can just grab that whole thing there. So we get different cost of goods sold and different ending inventory, but the total of those two, if I add the 14, if I add these two together, I get 19,073. And I should also get 19,073 when I add these two together, because I am taking the total cost of everything available to be sold and sorting it into either cost of goods sold or ending inventory. So it has to still add back up to the total cost of goods available to be sold. So that's a check figure for you. Let's do weighted average. So we have to get the total cost of so let's get all our purchases and our beginning inventory. And we will add them all up and do the math. So the average is the total goods available divided by the units available. So our average is 1870. So cost of goods sold under weighted average would be the number of units sold, which was 790, times that average. And ending inventory would be the units in ending inventory, which was 230, times that average. These two have to also add up to be that same 19,073 check figure. So these two added together need to be the 19. These two added together need to be the 19, and these two added together need to be the 19. If not, you've got some sort of error. All right, let's scroll down here and let's create the income statement. Sales, cost of goods sold down to gross profit. This is our subtotal. And then operating expenses. Which they give us. Gets us down to operating profit. Then we have taxes and then net income. All right, so let's see, FIFO, LIFO, weighted average. There's our three methods here. Okay, sales is the same for all three methods, and sales would be the units sold times the sales price. So that's not different under the three methods. All right, now cost of goods sold is different. So cost of goods sold for FIFO was that number. Cost of goods sold for LIFO was that number. Cost of goods sold for weighted average was that number. So very different. All right, and then gross profit is sales minus cost of goods sold. Selling administrative, they say, is I think we'll just call that SGA, selling administrative. Selling general and administrative, which would include the depreciation and the selling and administrative costs. Be the same under all methods, no difference. So operating profit is gross profit minus all of those operating costs. And then taxes are 35%. And net income is income before operating profit minus taxes. So how did profit change? So profit was highest under FIFO. Why is that? Because the lower cost items went in cost of goods sold, making cost of goods sold a little smaller. Profit was lowest, under FIFO, because it had the highest cost of goods sold.